Hello everyone. My name is Anita Sain, your science teacher from Shri Rama Bharti Public School. Today I will explain few topics from force and friction. So let's start. Now friction. What is friction? Friction is the force that opposes the motion of an object, and it always slows things or prevent them from moving. It always acts in a direction opposite to that of motion. Now, two properties of friction. First, the friction always opposes motion. And second, friction produces heat. Because friction is always between the two surfaces which move in opposite direction. And friction always opposes the motion. And because when the two surfaces are moving in opposite direction, they always produces heat. Now, factors which affect friction. The main thing is the two surfaces which are in contact, they should be rough. So means friction is caused by the irregularities on the two surfaces in contact. The friction increases with roughness of the surface. Means when the roughness of a surface will increase, the friction will also increase. Why? This is because rough surfaces are more irregular than smooth surfaces. Friction also increases as the mass increases. For this, we can take one example. If we take a brick and push it on the floor, now what we will do, we will keep another brick on it. Now we have to apply more force to push two bricks, although the surface area of contact remains the same. The surface area is still same, only what is changed. Now in place of one brick, there are two bricks. So we have to apply more force. And this proves that friction increases when mass increases. Thus, the force of friction depends on first, the nature of the surface in contact. Which type of nature of the surfaces? It is rough or it is smooth. And the mass of object in contact. The force of friction, however, does not depend on the amount of surface area. As you have seen in the example also, the surface area was same, but only the difference was there in the second time we have taken two bricks. So means what we have done? We have increased the mass of an object. So the force of friction does not depend on the amount of surface area of the two objects which is in contact with each other. Now we will learn the different types of friction. Now the friction is mostly classified into two categories. We can say there are two types of friction. One is kinetic friction and second is static friction. First we will see what is static friction. Static friction is the frictional force that exists between two bodies so long as they are relatively at rest. When the two surfaces or two bodies which are in contact, they are at rest, means there is no relative motion. So this is called static friction. Now the second type is kinetic friction. Now in the kinetic friction, the frictional force acting between two surfaces when there is a relative motion. You have seen in static friction, there was no relative motion between two surfaces. But in kinetic friction, there are the force acting between two surfaces when there is a relative motion between them. It is called kinetic friction. Now, kinetic friction is classified into two types. One is sliding friction and second is rolling friction. Now, what's a sliding friction? The force of friction acting between two bodies or two surfaces when they slide on one another. When they slide on one another with a uniform speed is called sliding friction. And what is rolling friction? The force of friction that exists between two surfaces when a body rolls over the other body is called rolling friction. So, sliding friction and rolling friction are the types of kinetic friction. So, This is all for today. Have a nice day.